Namaste everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel Ask Prep. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the conflict between Israel and Palestine. The conflict between Israel and Palestine is a protracted and multifaceted dispute over territory, sovereignty, and national identity that has persisted for decades. Rooted in historical grievances, religious tensions, and competing claims to land, the conflict has resulted in cycles of violence, displacement, and humanitarian suffering for both Israelis and Palestinians. The origins of the conflict can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when Zionist Jews began immigrating to Palestine, then part of the Ottoman Empire, with the aim of establishing a Jewish homeland. As Jewish immigration increased, tensions grew between the Jewish and Arab communities in Palestine, leading to outbreaks of violence. Following World War I, the British mandate for Palestine was established, and Britain pledged support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine through the Balfour Declaration of 1917. However, this promise clashed with the aspirations of the Arab population, who sought independence and self-determination in their homeland. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan that would divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem as an international city. While Jewish leaders accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected it, leading to the outbreak of war between Jewish and Arab forces. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War, also known as the War of Independence from the Israeli perspective and the Nakba catastrophe from the Palestinian perspective, resulted in the establishment of the State of Israel and the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, who became refugees in neighboring countries or were internally displaced within Israel. Subsequent conflicts, including the Six-Day War in 1967 and the Yom Kippur War in 1973, further shaped the dynamics of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel's occupation of the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, and the Gaza Strip following the Six-Day War, as well as its establishment of settlements in these territories, have been major sources of contention and ongoing conflict. The Oslo Accords, signed in the 1990s, aimed to establish a framework for resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict through negotiations and the creation of a Palestinian state alongside Israel. However, the peace process has been marked by setbacks, including continued violence, settlement expansion, and political divisions among Palestinian factions. The situation in Gaza, particularly since the takeover of the territory by the Islamist group Hamas in 2007, has been a flashpoint in the conflict. Israel has imposed a blockade on Gaza, citing security concerns, which has led to humanitarian crises and periodic outbreaks of violence, including wars in 2008 to 2009, 2012, and 2014. Efforts to revive peace negotiations, including initiatives by the United States, the United Nations, and regional actors, have faced numerous challenges. Issues such as borders, security, Jerusalem, refugees, and the status of settlements remain unresolved, and both sides continue to harbor deep-seated mistrust and grievances. The status of Jerusalem, with its religious significance to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, is a particularly contentious issue. Israel considers Jerusalem its undivided capital and has annexed East Jerusalem, including the Old City, which Palestinians seek as the capital of their future state. The relocation of the US Embassy to Jerusalem in 2018 further inflamed tensions and drew international condemnation. The humanitarian situation in the Palestinian territories, including poverty, unemployment, and lack of access to basic services, exacerbates the conflict and undermines prospects for peace and stability. The divide between the Palestinian Authority, which governs parts of the West Bank, and Hamas, which controls Gaza, further complicates efforts to achieve Palestinian unity and negotiate with Israel. International efforts to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, including diplomatic initiatives, peace agreements, and economic development projects, have had limited success in achieving a lasting and comprehensive solution. The conflict remains a central issue in the Middle East, with far-reaching implications for regional stability, security, and human rights. Ultimately, resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict requires addressing the legitimate grievances and aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians, respecting international law and human rights principles, and finding a negotiated settlement that ensures security, dignity, and self-determination for all parties involved. It will require courageous leadership, genuine commitment to peace, and the support of the international community to overcome the obstacles and realize the long-held dream of a just and lasting peace in the region. Thanks for joining us today. We'll continue making these knowledgeable videos for you in future. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe.